Welcome back! How's everybody doing today? I am here with my June TBR and I'm super excited about it. I just did a whole bunch of looking into all of these different websites for it, and I'm just super excited to be doing this one. It's gonna be fun. Definitely a little different than something I've done so far, like ever. And yeah, let's get into it. So I am kind of piggybacking this a little bit off of Booksandlala's video where she read like an Aries for a week, I think it was. I'll have the video linked down below so you guys can check it out. Kayla is one of my favorites, and she does the most original, creative ideas ever, and I thought that was super fun. So I am a Libra, and so this month I'm going to be reading a bunch of books from websites suggesting what I should read as a Libra. So we are going to talk about those books, why they were recommended on these websites, and if I think that they are going to be something I'm interested in. Oh my goodness, my cat. What is she doing? I think I need to go and save her. Okay, I'm back. I just saved my cat. Let's get into these books and what I think of them and how they relate to me as a Libra, and we're going to start this experiment and it's going to be fun. So the first book, I'm going to be looking down a little bit because I got some notes. I want to make sure I reference these correctly, and I will also link down below Kayla's blog in which she has all these different sites laid out. So if you guys want to go and check out what would be good for your sign to read, then you guys can join me in this challenge. So the first one that I actually have this book in physical form. It is 5 Feet Apart. This one's by Rachel Lippincott. And it says, with Mickey Daughtry and Tobias Iaconis. I don't know if that's an I or an L. I think it's an I because the L has the line under it. Okay, so Iaconis. This cover, by the way, is one of my absolute favorite cover arts ever in the world. It is gorgeous, with the little lung trees. And this could be because I'm in nursing school, anatomy, all this is very interesting to me, but the fact that they did the little lung trees and then just made them gorgeous, I don't know. I just think it's beautiful. So this book is about these two young adults. I think they're almost 18. They both have cystic fibrosis, and it's kind of their journey because they don't want to keep 5 feet apart, but they're supposed to because it keeps them from getting infections, which could kill them. And I just think it sounds like a really cute little premise. So this was actually a book I was already interested in. I have it on my shelf, ready to be reading. And little one's coming in. Hold on. All right, I got the little one playing Spyro here. So she's going to try and be quiet and play a little game. And we're going to try and get through this video. So 5 Feet Apart. That is what we are talking about right now. So this one was recommended for me being a Libra by Riveted by Simon Teen. So this is what they said about Libras. They need balance, and they thrive with rhythmic balance in daily routines. And they felt like this was going to be good because Stella and Will take a step towards balancing their situation. So, but that's about all they gave me. So just a little bit. And as far as balance goes, I'm definitely in that train with Libra. Actually, a lot of these things, as I was writing them down and reading them, I was like, yeah, this is me for sure. I like balance, and I like to have a daily routine, and I like things to go in my routine, and when they're not, I feel all off, and I don't like that. So, hopefully I love this. Stick that guy there. Okay, next we have Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams. So I'll put a picture up for you guys here. This one was on a blog called Pure Wow, and they said that Libras are charming and loquacious. And if we were a movie genre, we would be a rom-com. They said the book is smart, funny, and socially minded, like Libras. And that's why we're going to like it. So, my brief understanding of what this book is about, it's similar to like a Bridget Jones diary, but in a book, is my understanding. It is about I think she's 24-year-old Jamaican British woman who breaks up with her longtime boyfriend, I believe, and she's just trying to figure out what she's doing. She feels like her job isn't quite doing it for her. Obviously, her love life's struggling some, and she's just trying to figure out life. That is my understanding of this book. Quick note on this. This just made me think of this. When I was going through all of these sites and looking at all the books, there was quite a few more. I think there was like twice as many as I put on this page. I just pulled out the ones that I thought I would be the most interested in because I did want to still enjoy the stories in the books I was reading this month. And so these are just the ones that grabbed me the most, basically. So moving on to the next book. I have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This one's been around a lot on Booktube recently-ish. Not like super recently, but in the last like year. And this one was on LitJoyCrate's site. They said that Libras are clever and quick to make a joke. We are charming and we love balance. We cannot stand chaos and we like tidy and orderly type things. So I definitely agree. Again, the balance thing, like obviously we have the skills, we like balance, we don't like chaos. When things are like a mess in my house in general, like I can't work. Like I literally have to end up cleaning the house because I can't concentrate and focus because things are just too everywhere. And I also I'm a huge list person, so if I feel like things are just like everywhere and I have like this to do and that to do and I'm feeling like I need to be pulled in a million directions, I have to write it down so then it's not in my brain and I can just slowly start working through things. Otherwise I'm trying to go too many directions and it's driving me crazy and I get really overwhelmed. So I totally understand where that's coming from. I don't know if I'm charming and clever, maybe? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. But that's all they really gave me on this. They didn't really explain why they thought Serpent and Dove fit into that description. So, I don't know. Let me think. What was this book about? So this book is about a witch who leaves her coven, or she's kicked out of her coven or something like that, and she moves to this area, and then this other guy, I think he's like a witch hunter and he works for the church. They end up having to get married for some reason. I don't know why. And it's against both of their, ideals and stuff. And so then obviously that's creating some conflict. And yeah, how does that work into clever, charming, can't stand chaos? Maybe because that is chaos and they're saying that it's going to tidy itself up. I have no idea. I really have no idea on that one. Okay, so we'll move on to the next book, which is The 57 Bus. This is by Dashka Slater, and this is actually a true story. It is about two teenagers in, I think, Los Angeles, and one of them is a white female who goes to high school in like kind of a suburban-y area, and then also a Black male teenager who goes to a more rough side of town in that high school, and they share 8 minutes of time every day on a bus going to school. And then all of a sudden I think the bus crashes or catches on fire or something crazy. She ends up with a whole bunch of burns and she ends up really hurt, and then he ends up in prison with a bunch of jail counts and like crazy stuff. And it's just talking about teenage criminals, and I'm assuming probably race is going to play into this, and people who are better off financially than not, and stuff like that. So let's see what Book and Siblings said. They said Libras have a profound sense of fairness that drives them. And this book is a true story about corrupt justice system, hate and teen criminals, and the power of restorative justice. So to me, it sounds like they're thinking that this book is good for a Libra because Libra is like justice and balance and fairness, and that's kind of where this book is trying to talk to, is what is fair and what does justice look like in this kind of a situation and that kind of thing. So the next 3 books that I'm going to be talking about are actually all from the same site. So I guess I just really liked the books that this particular site chose, and it was Word Wonders blog. Okay, so this particular site talked about Libras. This is going to be for all 3 of the next books. It was just a broad spectrum. Libras are this, and then it said why it chose these 3 books. They said Libras are great at communication. They like to make and keep people happy, which can then lead to them neglecting their own happiness. And they're also very creative and imaginative, and their imagination knows no bound. So, I definitely agree with a good chunk of this. I am very much one of those people who I like to give and I like to make other people happy, and I like to see other people happy. And sometimes I will do that at my own cost. I will put too much out there and I'll just give and give and give. And then I have to be like, okay, you need to like chill it out and take a minute for yourself because you're doing a little bit too much. I can definitely see where that can come in. And it can be an issue for me too. Like I can be too much of a people pleaser and too much of a pushover. And I don't like confrontation. And so yeah. That's me for sure. Communication, great at communication. I try to be, and I try to teach my daughter and my niece and my nephew a lot of communication skills. I feel like that's all I do lately is teach them a lot. So I don't know, maybe I just really like to try to communicate well. I don't know. My husband probably would be like, you suck at communicating. So, you know. It's a work in progress, maybe. We'll go with that. And creative and imaginative. I don't know if I'm the most creative person, but I like doing creative things. I like to sew. I like to color. I like making these videos I feel like are kind of a creative outlet for me. My planner, I like to decorate my planner and do fun stuff with stickers there. So I definitely enjoy creative things. I don't know how creative I actually am. My mom always says I am. I could just be being too hard on myself. I don't know. So a lot of these points I definitely would say are Libra-esque as far as I go. Now the 3 books, here we go. I don't feel like their book explanations were very good as to why these would work for me. But the first one, Labyrinth Lost, by Zoraida Cordova. It says, the main character tries to reclaim her future and stop doing things to please others, which is the opposite of Libras. So we would want to read something that's the opposite of us, I suppose. We Are Okay is the next one. This one's by Nina LaCour. This one, it said, there's no reason. They just feel like a Libra would like it. Okay, well, let's find out. Maybe a Libra like me will like it. And the third one, When the Moon Was Ours, by Anne-Marie McLemore. Just says, one of the most imaginative books that they've ever read. I'm assuming because we have a lot of creativity and imagination, they feel like we're going to enjoy this one. But that's about all we got on that. So I'll briefly tell you what I know of these books. For Labyrinth Lost, we have a bruja, which is like a witch, and she doesn't want magic or to be a magic, and so she casts this spell and it backfires and her whole family disappears and she has to figure out how to get them back. That's my understanding of the story. I like magic. Sounds interesting. we'll see where that goes. I feel like actually I've got quite a few here that are kind of magically based on this list, and I enjoy magic in my stories and having kind of a magical tale, so hopefully I'll like all of these. We Are Okay. This one was vague, I feel like, when I was reading what it was about, but something happens to this girl when she's living in California. She kind of, I don't know, freaks out over it and decides to ignore it and doesn't want anything to do with it. And she goes to New York to college, and then her friend or sister or somebody's going out to visit her, and she's going to have to face all of that. And she, well, I don't think she really wants to, but she's going to. And I think that's basically what the story's going to be about. And then When the Moon Was Ours is another kind of magical based story. This one is about these two kids who've been friends for a long time, since they came into the town when they're like 5 or something. And there's these other 4 sisters who are supposedly witches, and they aren't the good kind, and you want to stay away from them. And for some reason they want one of the 2 other characters. Sorry, I don't remember names. Hopefully I will when I actually read this and I can tell you a little bit more there. I'm sorry, that was not very much. So that's the 3 from Word Wonders. And I think that leads to our last one. So what was that? 8 books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is book number 8 right here. So that one I also have a physical copy of. So obviously I was interested in this story before, but Starry Eyes by Jenn Bennett. You'll be seeing this in my upcoming May wrap-up. Just read my first Jenn Bennett book, Alex Approximately, and I liked it. It wasn't like mind-blowing, but I definitely liked her writing and I enjoyed the story and I would read it again. It just wasn't like extra super awesome. And it could just be that I needed a different storyline that would speak to me a little bit more. That one was based mainly around like movies and stuff like that. I don't know. You'll hear more in my wrap-up, so just watch that one. We're talking about Starry Eyes, not that. Excuse me as I deal with the little munchkin for a sec. Okay, let's get back to this. Starry Eyes by Jenn Bennett. This one was recommended by Jasper and Spice. And they said, Libras are diplomatic, peaceful, fair, hate being alone. They have a friend or partner, or friends and partners help to balance out their life. They strive for change, peace, and equality, and try to avoid conflict. They are saying that this book has a partner that complements the main character well, which is what they say Libras like. We have partners that help complement us and make sure we're not alone. And they also say that there's conflict, but it is not confrontational. Too many distractions from the little one. My brain is not comprehending what's going on right now. Okay. There's a conflict that is not confrontational. I don't like to be confrontational. Apparently Libras don't like that. We like to please people. We like to make them happy. No confrontation. And Libras don't like to be alone, which is something I have heard before. We like to have a partner, and I definitely can understand that. I feel like I am blossoming so much more as a person ever since I have been with my husband and we have been married, and I feel like I can achieve more things with him by my side, supporting me, and I know that I can just go for my goals, and he's just gonna be like, yeah, go for it. You got it. I'm here if you need me. And that's like just amazing, and it's the best. So definitely hit the nail on the head as far as that goes. We'll see as far as these books go. I feel like the Libra explanations of why these books are going to work makes sense, because I agree with what they're saying about Libras. I just hope that I actually enjoy these. I think looking at this list, I'm a little nervous about the 57 bus because I don't read a lot of nonfiction, and so I don't know about how criminal justice-y it's gonna get, and that just makes me a little bit nervous. I'm not totally sure about that one. And I feel like the rest sound pretty good. We got some magical stuff. We got some like hard-hitting stuff. Like we're talking about CF, and we're talking about the 57 bus is going to be a little bit more of a hard-hitting one. So we're learning some things about maybe race and disease and, I don't know, different topics that need to be talked about. And then we've got some fun light stuff. Like I feel like Queenie's going to be really cute and just a fun little story. And I'm going to, I don't know, eat it up. And the Starry Eyes, that should be a fun, easy little light read. So I don't know, we'll see. We will see at the end of this month. We're going to check it out and see how many of these I actually ended up enjoying. I think it's going to be the end of the month. Maybe I'll wrap it up sooner because I know towards the end of this month also we have a romance-a-thon, and I'm thinking I'm going to get in on that one, but I'll put out a little TBR for that when we get a little closer. I've got a few ideas, but I'm not totally sure what I want to do there yet. And then I do also have a couple of NetGalley arcs that are coming out early in July, so I really want to read those. They're ones that I'm definitely interested in. One is Cinderella is Dead, and it follows what happens after Cinderella's gone, and there's, I think, more Cinderellas or something? I'm not sure, but it sounds interesting when I read it. And then What You Wish For by Katherine Center, so I am interested to see how her new book goes over, and it sounds kind of fun and interesting. It's got a little bit of love in there, so I was almost wondering if it might fit into romance-a-thon. So we'll have to see how that all goes together. But if you guys like this video, definitely get down there, like it, subscribe it, give me a comment telling me what you're reading this month, or if you want to check out some of these different sites and see what you might want to read based on your sign, you could definitely do that. Let me know what you guys are picking up, and I will talk to you guys soon.